Hey guys, I just wanted to go over some problems with you that you'll see in IXL today. So this first section says evaluate, write your answer as a fraction or a whole number without exponents. So first thing I wanted to talk about was if you have the calculator I've been talking about, you can do this problem directly in your calculator. So on this problem, you're going to hit the 4, and then you're going to hit the let's see, the caret button, which looks like a half of a triangle. It's in the first column. It's called a caret button. And then you're going to type -2. Now make sure you use the negative sign, not the minus sign. The negative sign is in parentheses on the bottom row. So if you type 4 and then the caret button and then type in -2, it will tell you that the answer is 4 caret -2 is 1/16. So in IXL, you're going to type 1/16, and that will be the correct answer, 1/16, because in order to make that negative go away, we're going to take that 4, we're going to flip it down to the denominator, so it would literally be 1/4 squared. And 1/4 squared is 16, 1/16. Okay. All right. And the directions don't say to leave it in exponential form. All right. So 4 to the negative first. So once again, to get rid of that negative exponent, you're going to flip this number down to the denominator, and it would be 1/4 to the first, which is 4 to the first is just 4. So you're going to type in to IXL 1/4. You're going to use the / on that one. All right, the third one, to get rid of that negative exponent, you would flip that 4 down to the denominator. So it'd be 1/4 to the positive third. And 4 to the third is 64. Like I said, if you have the right calculator, you can type the whole thing into the calculator. You're going to type the 4. You're going to hit the caret button. That looks like that. You're going to type in -3. You're going to hit enter, and it's going to give you the answer as a fraction. All right, the next one says 6 to the negative first. So you're going to throw that 6 down to the denominator. So you're going to type in 1/6. That one I'm just going to put directly in my calculator. I'm going to type 7 caret -3, enter, and my calculator tells me it's 1/343. All right, that's the whole first section. Now the second section is dividing numbers that have both the same bases and different bases. So on this one, we have the same base. So 10 is the base. So we don't divide 10 and 10. We simply subtract those exponents. So 9 minus 7 is +2. Since there's more 10s in the numerator, our 10 stays in the numerator. So our answer is 10 squared. That means 10 times 10 is 100. And so that's my final answer, because it asks for a whole number or a simplified fraction. So they do not want this answer in exponential form. They want a final answer. Once again, if you put this directly in your calculator, you're going to use the N/D button. In that top, you're going to say 10 caret 9. And then you're going to have to hit the big arrow. You're going to have to arrow to the right, that button that helps you arrow to the right. And then you're going to arrow down to get to the denominator. You're going to type 10 caret 7. These are buttons on your calculator. And when you hit enter, it's going to tell you the answer is 10 squared. And if you want to know what that answer is, you're going to hit the double arrow button above the enter button, and that will give you the 100. All right, the next one, you can type it directly in your calculator, or I'm thinking of our exponent rules. I have the same base, so I'm going to add 2 plus 2, and I know 2 plus 2 is 4. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 3 to the 4th, and I know the answer is 81. All right, once again, I have 9 6s on the top. I'm going to divide by 6 6s on the bottom, or in other words, I'm thinking what's 9 minus 6? So that would be 3. So 6 caret 3 is 216. Hopefully you guys have the right calculator that'll make these easier for you. All right, now these, notice please that the bases are not the same. So our exponent rules do not apply. We're not going to subtract 3 and 2 because the bases are not the same. So I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to use the N over D button on my calculator. I'm going to type in 6 caret 3 in the numerator. And then I'm going to use that big button to arrow down, that big one right here. This one helps me move the toggle button. On the bottom, I'm going to say 8 to the 2, or 8 squared in the denominator. So 6 caret 3, go down, 8 squared. And my calculator tells me my answer is 27 over 8. And that is simplified, and that's what it asks for, simplified fraction. All right, that one, once again, our bases are the same, so we're not just going to add our exponents 3 and 3. So I'm just going to do the whole thing in my calculator. I know that 2 to the 3rd power is 8. I know 3 to the 3rd power is 27, or I could just type this all in my calculator just like I see it. So 8 times 27 is 216. All right, and that's that second section. All right, the third section, these are multiple choice, so I think you'll like these questions. So basically, the first one is, what is equivalent to, my screen is a little, I think that's 3 to the 1st raised to the 7th. If that's what it says, then I'm going to multiply 1 times 7 because it's a power raised to a power. So 1 times 7 is 7. So 3 to the 7th power is going to be the correct answer. The second one, what is equivalent to 5 to the 9th times 5 to the 9th? Well, my bases are the same, which means I get to add those exponents. So 9 plus 9 is 18. My base stays at 5. So my answer is going to be 5 to the 18th power. The third one, which expression is equivalent to 8 to the 21st divided by 8 to the 1st? So since those bases are the same, I'm subtracting 21 minus 1 right there. So 21 minus 1 is positive 20. Since there's more 8s on the top, my exponent stays in the numerator. So the answer is 8 to the 20th. All right, here we have two numbers that have the same base being multiplied. So the rule is we're going to add those exponents. So -1 plus -2 is -3. So my answer is 7 to the -3rd. Well, when I look, that's not a choice. This is not 7 to the -3rd. That is not equivalent. But if I want to make that exponent positive, I'm going to take that 7, I'm going to drop it down to the denominator. My 3 becomes a positive number, and I see that that is the best answer. All right, the next one, I'm going to multiply those exponents because it's power raised to a power. So my answer would be 4 to the -45, which I see that answer. It is not the same. This is not the same. This does not say 1 over 4 to the -45th, but I do see my answer that I came up with. So that's the best answer. All right, I have the same bases, which means I'm going to subtract these two exponents. So I have -26 minus -1 minus a negative. I'm going to do bam, bam. Minus a negative, so I have -26 plus 1 is -25. My base doesn't change, it's a 3. So my answer is 3 to the negative 25. I see that answer. Or that would also be equal to 1 over 3 to the positive 25th. That's not a choice. Had it been, and this one wasn't a choice, I would have picked that one. But this is the best answer on this question. All right, this problem, I have 10 to the negative 26 divided by 10 squared. So I'm going to subtract those exponents. So I'm subtracting 26 minus 2, and I get 10 to the 24th. Now, 26 minus 2 is a positive 24th. I don't have a negative 24th. So my answer is not 10 to the negative 24th. This is definitely a 24, not a 28, right? This is definitely a 24, not a 13. So that means that this and this must be equivalent. Well, 10 to the 24th, if I wanted to make that negative, I would drop it across the sign, change across the line, change the sign. These are now equivalent. So this is a good answer. Letter D. All right, and I think this is the last one. Now pay attention, the bases are not the same, so don't try to say 6 minus 6 is 0. So I'm going to literally put this whole thing in my calculator. I'm going to use my N over D button. On the top, I'm going to say 8 caret 6. I'm going to arrow down and say 4 caret 6. And my calculator, let me do it real quick. So 8 to the 6th over 4 to the 6th. My calculator tells me my answer is 64. Well, that's true, but none of these say 64. Well, I know 2 is not equivalent to 64. I know 1 over 2 to anything. That's a fraction. That's a small number. It's not that. This would be equivalent to 2 to the 5th. Well, so that's my choices. Is 2 to the 5th 64, or is 2 to the 6th 64? Well, when I put that in my calculator, I found out that that is also equal to 64. So that is the best answer. All right, guys, so that's it. So those are just a few examples of your IXL problems. So hopefully that helped you guys. If you have any questions, please message me, and I will talk to you guys later.